Hey, what's up, fam? And welcome back again to the Flavor of Love Kickback here on Recap Kickback. It's me, your host, Chappell, and I am back again to talk to you about another episode of the iconic VH1 reality show that led to all the rest of these crazy shows that we love and adore so much, The Flavor of Love. And with me, I had to bring in someone who hadn't quite seen The Flavor of Love. And so they're going on this journey for the first time, and we're all going to get to watch her react. It's Chantele. Chantele, welcome back.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Not you. You can choke. Good morning.
Yes. Oh, this is why I did this. I did this for this. Chantele, have you ever seen that GIF? Like, have you ever seen that? I use that so much. I use that GIF so much. That's what you send to the group chat. You know, you just put that in there. Oh man. Oh, Chappell, 2 episodes in, and you see the crazy is starting to come out of these people.
Yes. I do see the craziest that are starting to come out of these people. And I just they would never be able to find people like any of them for the most part nowadays.
Yes.
Like everybody's just so watered down and so Instagrammy. Like these are just everybody's so real. Even if they're being over the top or being like a version of themselves and maybe a caricature of themselves, they're still more authentic than what we get nowadays on our reality shows. And I'm just loving it because I'm just shocked by how real they are.
Yes.
Insane.
It's so good. It's so good. Thank you all for the chat. If you're in the chat and you're listening to and watching us, we're live. We're live every week talking about Flavor of Love because we need that interaction because y'all either have seen it or have heard about it or want to hear us talk about it. And so we need that energy from the chat. Shout out to Gina and all the rest of our mods. Dr. J, we see you out there. Bobby. Yeah, so shout out to all of y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We're going to have a good time talking about episode 2 because Chantele, as we jump in, we see the episode start with the women getting a little downtime, and very quickly we start to get our first sighting of some real life New York drama. So apparently the night before she got into it with Georgia before the elimination. Now, Chantele, I guess in the first episode they were told to wear whatever they had been wearing all day to the elimination ceremony, and New York changed clothes. And so their first bit of beef is Georgia being like, well, you're not even supposed to be wearing that. And New York going the hell off. First of all, actually, I don't want to misrepresent my girl. She starts off kind of like, you don't have to use that tone with me. You don't have to use the F word with me. Like, she's very...
before the F word.
Right. How you feel seeing New York handle conflict like this as opposed to the New York you know?
I think it's hilarious because we know that she's doing it just to make them get even more angry. Because if somebody is like acting like that, especially if we know that she can pop off, we know that she can give it back, and then she's just taking such a soft, demure tone, like it would infuriate me, which I think is gold because it's just so taunting.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, the fully formed version of New York. You've seen her in action in recent years, so you know that she's like a firecracker. But this, in the early days, we didn't know what we had, so we're getting her like, oh my god, why would you say the F word with me? Like, are y'all talking about me? And then we get her in confessional being like, all these bitches gotta go. I hate all of them. They're all just evil bitch. Like, she's the way she's talking about them and the way they're talking about her. It's classic reality TV.
It is classic. It is classic old school, just because like people were allowed to have these like beefs. But like I know that they want conflict on current shows, but I feel it's a little bit more manufactured. I remember a few years ago, I was talking to this guy Sandman, and he had been on one of those Tyson Beckford reality shows back in the day. And so he has an idea of how reality TV works. And he was talking about the table flip scene from the Real House of New Jersey and how that kind of really started, you know, people wanting conflict in reality TV. Well, I think that this show made people want to recreate and restart these like girl on girl conflict in reality TV. They're always looking for who's going to be the villain of the season. There's always one person that's the villain that the entire house hates now. And then they're the one that still gets to have the one-on-one time with the lead and still makes it usually pretty far into the season. So I feel like this is like a template for how they're trying to emulate reality TV or like dating reality TV shows of nowadays.
And you have not seen anything yet. This is just the beginning, okay? You're gonna see some stuff that's gonna make you be like, oh wow. Today, some of the reality TV could never touch the high height that we're gonna get in Flavor of Love. Because New York, again, we know that she's our big star. We have her first in our little photo collage up here. Because we're gonna be following her story a lot. And very quickly, the girls do not like her. Georgia says she's evil. Rain hates her. And New York is only really getting along with a woman named Miss Latin and Oyster. Because they're all three of them kind of like understand it. This is a competition and that people are going to get their feelings hurt. Miss Latin says, okay, New York, they just don't like her because they're jealous of her because she's here for Flav and she's not trying to make friends. But Miss Latin has an ex. She dated her boyfriend for 4 years. They recently broke up, and now we see her throughout this episode on the phone trying to talk to this man. And there a lot of the girls are saying like, "Who's here for the right reasons?" That's definitely a trope that we get in The Bachelor and stuff all the time. Like, who's here for the right reasons? So, how did you feel knowing that Miss Latin had a boyfriend that she broke up with a week before coming on the show?
Well, okay. I guess in a regular reality show, I'm kind of like, well, if you're going on a reality show for love, you kind of would hope that they're healed enough to be able to enter into a relationship and be serious about it, right? You'd hope that if you're looking for love, that you wouldn't have a recent ex to contend with. But on this show, I don't know if they knew what they were getting themselves into, if they're really taking it that seriously, if they're maybe just using it as a springboard for other potential opportunities. And so because it's such an outlandish, like wacky kind of show, that she's probably like, I don't know if I'm going to like this guy. Like, I think I'm going to give her a little bit of grace because it's a little bit more, it's not taking itself that seriously. And so I'd be like, I have a boyfriend, but let me go see what this is all about. And I'll deal with my life when I get back. So I'm not so mad at it because it's not that serious of a show.
Or at least not to some of them, right? So like for me, when I'm watching this, like it does feel like some of them are all in on their motivation. Like I won't say that I believe that they're all here to find love, but they've all convinced themselves, or a lot of them have convinced themselves that they are here for Flavor Flav, right? We'll hear New York say it over and over again. We'll see that he goes on some one-on-one dates in this episode. And if they're not here taking it seriously, a lot of them are really acting like it. I think Miss Latin is the lowest hanging fruit of like, she's the one who's willing to play ball almost the least because she's saying, I'm here for love, but she's calling her boyfriend to the point where he even hangs up on her in her face, and she is not happy about it. So I don't know. Like I feel like Chantele, put it like this: if your ex, you broke up with somebody after 4 years, and then a week later you saw them like at the Bachelorette open call, like what do you do?
I would probably not be talking to them again. Like, it's like we're good. You have other priorities now. Like I can understand her boyfriend not really wanting to talk to her, but do you think he knows where she is?
I mean, what do you say when you call? Like, hey, it's me. Oh, where are you? I'm at Flavor Flav's house. Like, what? I just don't know what she said. What could she have possibly said to be like, oh, this is okay,
Unless she threw it in his face, being like, okay, you don't want to be with me anymore. I'm going to be going on this show. I'm going to fight. Maybe she didn't know who it was.
I'm going to be with a famous rapper. I'll show you.
Famous rapper.
Flavor Flav comes dancing out with his clock. Yeah.
She's like, maybe I could call my boyfriend back.
She's like, starts calling back. Yeah. Crazy talk. So the next day, Flav is like, okay, the girls get a flavogram, which is their version of like tree mail, Tyra mail. We've seen this before. Yeah, a flavogram. He says last night was macadacious, and now they're getting Flav on one dates with Flavor Flav because he wants to recreate this iconic moment, this flashback from the Strange Love show that he had with Brigitte Nielsen. It's this clip of them in the bathtub that we always see whenever people talk about Strange Love because it kind of encapsulated their romance. These two people that just were night and day in like their like the way they present themselves. She's so tall, he's so short. She's kind of like she's like a model, he's a rapper. Like it just like the differences were there and it was obvious and they really stood out while they were in that hot tub. So now he's going to have the women personalize a hot tub date for him. Now, when you hear that you need to have a hot tub date, Chantele, put yourself in the mind of these women. How do you personalize your hot tub for Flavor Flav?
Oh, Lord. Probably there'd be champagne because they call me Shanteezy Champeezy.
Okay.
I like some
They
champagne.
call me Shapeezy Champeezy.
No, they don't. They do they?
You don't know that. No, they don't know that. They do now, but they do now.
They do now. Shampeezy and Shapeezy and Shanteezy.
And Shanteezy, that's us. Now I gotta introduce the podcast all over again. Like, welcome back to Recap. I'm Shapeezy, and this is Shanteezy. What's good?
Popping bottles. What else would I do? I feel like it's so hard because like a hot tub is like maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd do a little dance. It's so embarrassing, but maybe.
Look, we need to get these people to loosen up and show Flav who they really are using.
Wait, what would you do? You didn't say what you'd do.
I don't know. I guess even though I've seen this season a billion times, I never thought like, what would I do in the hot tub? I just feel like I wouldn't be in this situation. It's really hard to put me in a situation where I'm thinking like, okay, if I'm in a hot tub and a woman's like, all right, I'm finna come by, you gotta personalize it. If anything, there's gonna be a television there. Like, so you watch Survivor, you know? So I don't know. But Chantele, we also get one of the first of New York's many iconic moments. Again, one of my favorite GIFs, one of my favorite memes. Like, I've seen it a billion times. I've seen it done. Chantele, New York knows the girls have been talking their shit about her, and she is not happy. So she walks in the room and she speaks to several of them. Could you demonstrate again how New York greets the group?
Oh, good morning. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Not you. You can choke. Good morning.
It's so good.
She's just so chipper about it too. Like, good morning, good morning. Looking for people to say hi to and looking for people to avoid.
Yeah, not you. You can joke.
Not you. You can joke.
Yeah. And she says this to my girl Rain. And Rain is like, oh, Rain's already decided New York is an evil soul. And New York says in confessional, I just wanted to see if I was powerful enough to twist her mind. I wanted to mind screw her. This is episode 2. And she's already like, nah, I just came in here to basically flip the table and see if anybody's willing to check me. And Rain says she just is a black cloud of hate and nastiness. It's like New York is doing all of that in 2 episodes. It's been 24 hours, Chantele.
I just wonder how I would handle a woman like New York in like a contained area like these women. Would I get along with her? Would I be like worried that she's gonna flip the switch and turn on me? Like, I'm just, how would I deal with her? I think that I'd be friends with her, but like, so did Miss Latin, right? Like,
poor Miss Latin. Yeah, you could think you're going to be friends with New York, but you could also be very wrong. So the women end up splitting them like into 2 groups. They go into vans and they have to take the vans over to the location of the hot tubs. In van 1, we get Miss Latin talking about how she isn't there to make friends, but she can see herself getting along with the women. But in van 2, my girl Goldie says, New York. How would you respond if Flavor Flav has nothing on in the hot tub? And she says it playfully, trying to get New York in the conversation, getting her to loosen up. And New York responds, I just have a lot on my mind right now, and I don't feel like talking to you.
I don't feel like talking to you. And that just sets Rain thing off. Oh my God, she was just like, ah! Like, she just was like, it was like the worst thing that she could say.
Pumpkin is in the back of the van going like, well, people are trying to give you an opportunity to meet some good people. And New York's like, but what if I don't want the opportunity? I don't want to take the opportunity. And the next thing you know, Rain has had it. And she's like, turn the F around. Turn the F around.
Like, this was a fight. Like, have you been in this kind of fight in recently?
No, because
you don't fight?
I hit people.
Hit?
Or Look, in the words of the great Coral from The Real World, I don't wrestle, I beat bitches up. Like, you're not gonna be doing a lot of yelling at me before I hit somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
And
I've never been in a physical fight
oh,
before.
Chantel, you gotta get one in. You know, you just gotta get one under your belt one time. You know, so that way people don't know they can't try you.
But they still wouldn't because my words are so powerful.
There you go. Like New York, you know, you want to see how much power you have over people. What did you think? Did you think that it could have got physical between her and Rain?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
waiting for like someone to snatch a weave or like grab some hair and slam it into the window. Like I
It was
was
right
waiting
there.
for it, but I'm like, no. I felt that New York was putting her hands behind her back because she knows that she might throw hands and she doesn't
Yeah.
want to be thrown off the show. Because I'm sure that is the one big no for this show is like you can get as you fight as much as you want with your words, scream, who cares? But if you throw hands, you're going to be kicked off. And I'm sure that's a disclaimer that they all are aware of. And so I thought it might happen, though. I thought that maybe Rain was going to do it, and then New York would just be like, "Oh, she hit me," and then she gets kicked off the show. I couldn't see that happening as well.
Be careful to notice as well who New York is willing to go there with and who she's not willing to go there with. So Rain is like leaning over the seat, hand in her face, like, girl, I shut the F up. And New York's like, I don't have to shut up. Like, she's really like, she's not going there with her. But later on, we'll see in conflict that New York can handle different people different ways. I honestly think she just knows that if she, like, could you get away with, you're probably going to get kicked off if you throw hands. Yes. But you could probably incite violence from Rain and get her kicked out without actually participating. And it feel like to me, New York is like, I'm going to antagonize you. Rain says she's in my bloodstream and I need her out. So New York has just lodged herself right up under that nerve of Rain's. And so she doesn't have to touch her. Rain even said, I will throw a drink in your face if you don't shut the fuck up.
I was waiting for that because I think that would be allowed. I've seen a lot of drinks thrown in faces, but I was worried if maybe the chalice of the glass went with it, if that would warrant being kicked off the show, you know?
Yes. And for everybody who's just now joining us, yes, Chantele and I are watching every episode. We're doing a recap every week. And so if you are not familiar with these scenes, please go get familiar because the way we're describing them does not do it justice at all.
No.
And we have many more moments to talk about in this episode and throughout the season. So again, shout out to the chat. I see y'all out there. Brittany, Bobby, what's good? Mr. Roybot, we're loving this. We're having a good time and we're just tracking the journey of New York, but also Chantele's journey here as we discuss Flavor Flav's unorthodox dating tactics. So they get to the hot tubs and he wants to see what they're working with and how they will decorate around the hot tub and also see they look like in a bikini. You know, this is a very clever way, I think, of telling people like, I just want to see you half naked. It's like, oh, let's do a hot tub date and you can customize the hot tub, but he doesn't care about the customized hot tub. He just kind of wants to see them in bathing suits.
Yes. See maybe if he can rub up against their boobs, like as they get close sitting next to, a jet stream.
Yes. And Big Rick is there as well, his bodyguard / butler, who says, you got 10 minutes and he's going to blow the whistle every time. And so we quickly move through some of these dates. Pumpkin is there, our number 2 spot here on our collage. He obviously has a physical connection with Pumpkin. She's kissing all over him. Oyster plays like a dirty mind, like she has a dirty mind and she's like trying to whip him and he does the whipping.
He does not like being told he does not want to give up his dominance at all.
And she is determined to get him. Have you noticed that? Like every time you look up, she's like, can I spank you? He's like, no, stop it.
Like, I don't like that.
Yeah, she's trying. Chantele, Sirius has champagne.
Exactly.
And that was it. It didn't feel like Sirius customized hers at all. She just had a bottle of champagne.
I mean, I don't know what else I would do. I would maybe, I don't know. What would I do? It's just so embarrassing. Who was it that took off her makeup? Smiley?
Smiley took off her makeup.
I guess, that's annoying, but I guess it's okay. It's something. Maybe I think I'd do like a striptease type thing and get into the hot tub and open a bottle of champagne. Like a dancey type thing. probably.
Yeah, I think, and I think honestly, Simple is not bad at all. Like we saw like people like Peaches had a guitar and she was singing a
That
song.
I would not be doing that.
That was
I've
too
been
much.
serenaded once, and it's the most mortifying thing that can
Ah,
ever happen. I was working at this club. It was my first club I worked at. I was
mhm.
18 years old. I was doing coat check, and this bouncer had a crush on me. And he came down the stairs. Like the coat check was at the bottom of the stairs, and he comes down and he starts like singing to me. And I'm just like, I can't leave anywhere. And people are
Yeah.
gathering around because they think he's going to freaking propose or something. And I'm like,
Oof.
I don't even like this guy. This is so embarrassing. Like, stop singing to me. I don't know what to do. I feel very uncomfortable. And so, yeah, getting out a guitar and singing like a folk song about Flava Flav is just, in my opinion, not the move. It's too awkward and embarrassing.
Yeah, some of our standouts here. New York has a steamy hot tub, and she's able to show her ability to love. She says, "You need someone you can come home to and who can be there for you." And she's the woman that can do that for him. Do you feel like New York is sincere in these moments? How, like, where's I need to know, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much love do you think New York actually has for Flavor Flav?
I think it's all an act, to be honest. I love New York, but I do think that she is saying the right things, and she wants to see if she just plays this role, if she can get the guy in the end. So she is just going all in on this kind of, for him, this soft character. You know, she has her hand on his chest and being like, I'm here for you, so you don't, like, you can lean on me. Like, she's just being that empathetic person that she wants to see if that's going to be able to connect with them in order for her to win the game. I think she's there to win, and I think she's going about it the right way for Flava Flav. But I don't know if she's sincere about like falling in love with him.
Okay, let's keep tracking the flavor of love meter for New York specifically.
Okay,
That's gonna
so
be fun.
that's like maybe like a 4.
Okay, like a 4 on the love scale. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So, another person who had a standout date, you already mentioned Smiley taking out her makeup and trying to be real with him and just saying, like, she wants to be with somebody who can help her believe in love. We also get our girl, Miss Latin. Miss Latin is a standout here as well. She blew him away. He liked how thick she was. She rubbed some lotion on his back, and she says, like, I'm here for you. And so at the end of all the dates, Smiley, New York, and Miss Latin win, and New York is not shocked at all that she won.
Well, I could tell that they did connect, and he did seem to be settling into their kind of energy when they're kind of embracing in the hot tub. So to me, it made sense that it did seem like he was receptive to what energy she was giving him. I didn't really hear when he said Smiley, but I had a feeling when he really likes how thick Miss Latin is, and so the amount of times, oh, he's thick, she's so thick, she's thick. Like, I was like, okay, she's winning this date for sure. But I didn't hear him say Smiley, and I was surprised when she was the third person, unless I glazed over it. But did he say it in that moment?
Yeah, he named all 3 of them as their
Oh.
winners. I told you, young Chappell was very high on Smiley back in the day, so I was always ready to see my girl stepping it up. I was like, all right, Smiley, we in this.
So did you like it when she took off her makeup?
I
You know,
did. I love her.
you-
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean,
was like, yeah.
have you kept in touch with her? Like,
No, this lady, I have no clue where this woman is. I need to find her. I need to find
is
her.
that the mission? Like, to search
I
for
don't know.
Smiley?
Maybe we'll do the search for Smiley. Maybe we'll get her to come on the podcast as like an interview at later on. Maybe that'll be the dream. If we could get any of these women, especially like Goldie or somebody like really entertaining.
Well, like,
that
you
would
might
be
be able to
fun.
get New York because it's House of Villains, right? So
I would look. Don't threaten me with a good time. Any situation where I can talk to New York is a good situation for me. Okay, back to some New York drama. It's 4 a.m. and Pumpkin is confronting New York. She says, I'm nice to people who are nice to me, and you're not nice to me at all. You're being mean to everybody. You don't want to fit in. You don't want to get to know these nice people. And New York laughs in her face and calls her a joke. And she says if Pumpkin had $1 million, she would get a facelift.
I don't think Pumpkin looks old. Does she look old?
That will be a through line throughout this season. New York will continuously call Pumpkin old. The two of them are going back and forth, arguing to the point where Rain has to break it up. Of all people, Rain, the same person who was about to jump over the back seat to get to New York, is pulling Pumpkin back. because Pumpkin, I think she said that New York looked like she has a penis tucked between her legs. Like it got
Yes.
nasty.
I was surprised that it went there. I was also surprised that when Pumpkin's being pulled off from confronting New York physically, she goes and she punches a wall. I was like, okay, I didn't know that Pumpkin had that in her. She's a little bit more feisty than I was giving her credit for. I thought that she was going to be a little bit more just like kind of mouthy, but it looks like she throws hands. She might be more scrappy than I was expecting.
Oh, you have seen nothing yet, okay? You have not seen anything yet when it comes to how scrappy Pumpkin can be. But you notice New York is chasing after Pumpkin. While they're pulling her away, she's not backing down the same way she was giving Rain the space. New York was not doing that. So she just doesn't have any love for Pumpkin at all. And when Flavor Flav is woken from his slumber at 4 a.m. and hears all this screaming, Pumpkin, the same person who pretty much popped this off, goes to Flavor and says, she told me I needed a facelift. I was like, all right, Pumpkin. All right.
No, why is he living in the same hotel as these women?
They're in his mansion. This is his house. It's not but this is his like Airbnb for the occasion.
Okay.
You know why he's living there. In case they need to come upstairs.
Oh, right. Is his door always unlocked?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure he's not locking that door at any points. So yeah, what do you think about Pumpkin playing the victim at this point? Because she's like, Flav, she said a mean thing about me.
I was actually worried. I mean, I know that if I remember correctly, she does decently well. Like she makes it far through the season, which is probably one of the reasons why she's so celebrated now. So, but I was still worried that she was going to come in there with some sort of attitude or energy, and Flavor Flav was going to see this and like penalize New York in some sort of way. And they're like white woman's tears crying and like all this big angry black woman coming. Like I wasn't sure how that would play out. And so I was happy that she, at least when she came in, she just like went up and just like, oh, good night or whatever, and going to her room. Like I was very happy that she wasn't going to get caught for getting into a confrontation.
Yeah, Pumpkin's like, she's a problem, not just for me, for everybody. You know, Pumpkin's like in that trope of the people on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette who are like, I'm going to go tell. Like, if I tell, then, that'll get them in trouble and then they get sent home and they don't have to worry about them. And New York tells us in confessional, they're just mad because I have an advantage because I'm awesome and I totally have it going on.
I mean, it is true.
And she says, she thinks Flav, now she's kind of worried because she thinks Flav is going to think that she's a bitch now because of all the girls talking trash about her. And from above, New York is looking down on the other women and she is spying down on them. And she's just like, I'm going to get Pumpkin. I'm going to get her if it's the last thing I do.
I'm just like, I feel bad for these people. They don't know who they're messing with. And, they think that they can do normal mean girl tactics to get at New York, and no, it doesn't work. She's bad. I wonder what she was like in high school, actually.
That's a good question. That is a good question. I would love to know the answer to that question as well. Like, where are the people who went to school with New York who are like, I knew her way back when she was Tiffany Pollard, and let me tell you, like, I need the inside school. That's who we need to be interviewing.
Yeah. People, step forward. If you went to school with New York, talk to us.
10th grade teacher. Yeah, like if you got some inside scoop on like the real New York, like from day one, I would love to hear
ex-boyfriends.
Right, give us something. So upstairs, Miss Ladden tells Hoops and Pumpkin and Apples that she really misses her boyfriend Cash, and it's been a week. Now, New York's face was priceless. She's like, a week? That's incredible. Like that is against the rules. And her and Miss Ladden are cool. But also, New York is here for Flav. So they end up asking Miss Ladden point blank, like, hey, if your ex showed up, would you stay or would you go with your ex? And she literally tells these women, and I was like, Miss Ladden, you must be new here. She tells these women she would go. Like, lady, if you're here for clout or something else, you lie. And say like, no. I'm here for the right reasons. What are you talking about? She told the truth.
How dare you even ask me such a thing? I wouldn't be here if I wasn't here for the right reasons, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She messed up there. Maybe she didn't want to lie. I don't know, but it just wasn't the right crowd for her to be honest here. At all.
Not at all. So later on, Smiley, New York, and Miss Ladden will go on a date. and they would go on a date in athletic clothes with Flavor Flav, like kind of like these jazzercise clothes, because they're going to go skating with him. And Flav is at the top of the staircase, looking a hot ass mess in this big teal, like purple cloak with this big ass clock. And lion ass Smiley says, "Purple, this is a smashing outfit. What a damn smashing." I was like, Smiley, please, please. Who are you trying to fool? But
I really
purple,
wish our next RHAP event was over Halloween,
oh my
because you
god,
need to be going as
yes,
Flavor Flav in roller skates. I would go as New York, just keep falling
yes.
the whole
Look,
time. Like,
make it happen. I could be Flavor. Yeah, I could definitely pull off a Flavor Flav costume like this year.
yes.
Yeah, that's for real. Yeah. So Flav loves roller skating, and he's actually okay at it. New York has decided she's just gonna be the worst at it. I don't know. Maybe New York can't roller skate, but she's falling down left and right. And even Flav says she's falling down because she wants me to pick her up a lot. And that picking her up really brought their bodies closer together. And so New York's playing a strategic game here.
She's doing the right thing. The fact that he picked it up, I mean, maybe she's not being as slick as she may think she is, but he doesn't mind. He likes actually picking her up and, helping her skate and having their bodies pressed up next to each other. And so whatever she's doing, it's working. Even though for me, I don't know if it's just like my pride, I never want to look awkward. So like falling and like I just wouldn't want that. I would want to be very good. And so she's better than me because she's able to be humble and like fall and need his help. And I would be like, I got this. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a great skater.
Do you skate?
I have skated before. I don't say I'd skate, but I'm not bad.
Yeah, Mari's awful. My other co-host is awful. Mari's not a good skater, but me, I love skating.
Yeah,
I love skating. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. That's a good exercise. I like listening to music. It's one of my it's one of my peaceful places.
Yeah, you have, like you said, you have your own skates. Like that's impressive.
I do. Customized skates. I one day have to take a picture and post them or something like that. But anyway, yeah. So we found out that Smiley has been married before, and her ex basically told her he wasn't in love with her anymore, and she wasn't the one, and that's how they ended up getting a divorce. Flav tells her like, let it out, it's okay to cry, but she's like, who would want to go out with the girl that's always crying? Chantele, spoiler alert, this will not be the last time Smiley cries throughout this season.
Oh dear. Well, did you want to wipe her tears away, Chappell, when you Chappell, when you see that you have a chance now because she's divorced?
Look, I love Smiley so much in this season, but I replaced Smiley once I saw season 2 of Flavor of Love. Okay,
replaced. So okay, there's a new replaced.
Love. Yeah, okay. I love Smiley, but she will be quickly replaced next season. We'll get to that later on. That's a conversation for another time. New York says Smiley is crying for sympathy, and that this is all a bunch of BS. Do you feel like New York's projecting, because she was definitely falling down for sympathy?
She definitely, when you point a finger at somebody else's, 3 fingers pointing back at you. So I think she is projecting 100%, being like, there's no way that she's not doing that to get something out of it. Even if she was being sincere, I think that because New York's not necessarily being that sincere, she thinks that everybody else is playing tactics.
Yeah. And I think that also, of course, the big drama here is that Miss Ladden is basically asked point blank about her past relationship, because Flav is the most attracted to her at this point. She says she would love to get married one day, but she never brings up the fact that she was just in a 4-year relationship that ended a week ago. This will be some big drama. Do you think this was like, should she have told Flav in this moment?
If the people in the house know, Flavor Flav should know.
Yeah.
If nobody in the house knows, then you don't need to tell them, in my opinion, because if people know, it's going to get out, and it would look better if it came from you first. So that's kind of like that was the opportunity for her to be like, yeah, like, some drama has been going on in the house, and I just was still talking to my ex. I don't know how you place it. It still makes her look like she needs to go, but I think that was the time that she needed to tell him.
Right. New York will go on and she will have a meeting with the Legion of Doom. At least that's what I call them. So later on, New York, Hottie and Oyster. And they're putting their heads together. And she's telling us she's going to do what it takes to get Miss Latin out of the house because she's not here for the right reason. She's not here for Flav. Hottie goes to talk to Pumpkin and immediately tells her about Miss Latin. And she's like, I'm gathering information. They're like, oh, this isn't fair. But she's like, I want to get intel, and then it'll be just me and Flav. I'm gonna get intel on all these people, and I'm gonna get them kicked out the house. So it'll just be me and Flav and my money. How do you feel about Hottie through 2 episodes?
I was shocked that she was gonna be this messy. I was like, look how messy she's being, like going around stirring the pot, gathering information, spreading information. I'm like, I mean, it's very entertaining, but it always backfires. And I believe it may not have backfired. Did she? Yeah, she moved on. I may not have backfired this episode, but I just feel like that type of meddling attitude, she's going to meddle with the wrong person and it's going to kick her in the butt. It's going to screw her over for sure.
Yeah, she's spreading it around. Hoops finds out about it and has Miss Latin's back. People are like, why does it matter to you if she was in a relationship, a week ago? Like, what does it matter? It's none of your business. And when Hottie is confronted, she pretends like she doesn't know what they're talking about. She's just like, huh? What do you mean? That wasn't me. Oh my God. And they get into a screaming match at the table. Poor Sweetie just wants to eat her dinner. And New York says she just needs to get all these people out. Poor Goldie, my girl, is like, how was the chicken? How was the chicken? The chicken was lovely. The chicken was wonderful. She's just trying to keep the peace here. But yeah, Hottie got caught up so quickly. And she's not even the one they should be worried about because Chantele Oyster is the one who goes directly to Flav.
See, this to me means that she has no real connection with him, because if you don't have anything else to talk to him about other than somebody else in their business, that means you just don't have anything going on, right? You don't really want to waste your time. You have 10 minutes with them, 15 minutes every other day, and you're going to be like, oh, there's somebody that's here for the wrong reason. I think it always just backfires, especially this early on in the season. So I was like, I don't know if this is going to bode well for you, Red Oyster. I think it's a bad look. And he didn't seem to really like it either. He just being like, I don't like snitches. I was like, I agree.
Yeah. He like, I don't like snitches, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. But I love Oyster so much because she is she like New York, like Hottie. We see what type of character she is. You know what I'm saying? Like she is that is her. She came in the house to be that villain, to kind of and there are bigger villains around. New York is clearly stepped into that spot. Heidi is trying to beat her for it. And so Oyster, to not be outdone, goes directly to Flav and she cuddles up to him and she's like, Flav, somebody in the house isn't here for you and they have a boyfriend, blah, blah. He's like, who? She's like, Miss Latin, just completely throws her under the bus. And so now we get the clock deliberation. Flav goes to his own version of the memory wall and he stands there and he looks at all these clocks and he tries to decide on who he wants to get rid of. He talks about Sirius having nice little bums that he wants to put in the oven. New York tries too hard, he says, and she could be after something. And he doesn't know if she has the right motives. And he says he has a feeling that Oyster is trying to get Miss Latin out of the house. He says, a rat is a rat, and I hate effing rats. So at this point, who did you think was going home? Did you know it was time for Miss Latin to go?
I did feel that Flav kind of has a bit of an ego, and so I thought that he might send them both home. So Red Oyster, because he doesn't like the snitch, but he took the intel and he'll get rid of both of them. That's what I kind of was expecting. If though he was thinking about her body yaddy yaddy because she's thick. I was like, maybe he'd keep her around one more episode and just Red Oyster would go. But I was more so thinking that they would both be out.
We get some really good sound bites from some of these women. Hottie, of course, says, I'd say Flav has to eliminate 14 more people. They all have to go. And when it's just me and my mansion and my Flav enjoying all my money, then everything will just be fine. Pumpkin does not like Hottie's outfit. She says that she looks disgusting.
Rude, eh?
Yeah, Pumpkin sucks. She says, I'm not a big girl and I don't dress like that. And New York is actually the only one who seems pretty confident that she's not going anywhere. So Pumpkin wants Hottie out. Hottie wants New York out. She says she looks like Shrek and she needs to go.
Oh, Jesus. Leave her alone.
And New York wants to go and get everybody out. So we go through the clocks, and Smiley gets her clock first. And New York tells us, and I quote, "The girls have no respect for me, especially Smiley." Chantel, what did Smiley do to New York?
It must have been being emotional on the date.
Yeah,
Right?
that was
Like
disrespectful.
stealing energy and time from Flav with what she's considering to be bullshit. She didn't like the fact that she was, playing the same game potentially as she is and getting the first clock. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what she
It was disrespectful to her. And I think it was Rain who really got annoyed because she's like, I like Flav is supposed to be able to sense when people are here for him and being sincere. And people like New York Pumpkin, they don't even know anything about Flav. Now, Rain is saying this that other people are supposed to be sincere. Do you think Rain was sincere in her love for Flavor Flav? Because she will get cut in this episode.
No, I don't think anybody's sincere. Well, I mean, I
Just
know you think
refuse to
that
believe these people love this thing.
I don't. Okay, when I've seen all these, dating shows, and I'm like, you've known them for 3 days. Like, how can you love them? I do think being in this controlled environment with having people fighting and the competitive elements of this game, these shows, I can understand falling more in like with them than you would if you just had known them for 3 hours, like on the outside world. So I guess I get it that it's a pressurized system, but I just don't think that when they were dreaming up their ideal mate, that, Flavor Flav is in like that sketch drawing in their mind. I just don't think it's him. I think that they are choosing to make it him because they're on this TV show and they're in this pressurized environment, but I just don't think it's sincerely there from their heart. It might develop. It might. But
We're
I don't.
watching. We're watching.
I
We're
don't.
watching.
I don't know if it's all love right now. Not yet.
Okay. So New York is confident she's going to get Pumpkin out of the house at some point. She's like, it's coming. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get her. And so we're down to our last clock. And Flav says one of these people was disrespecting his crib by calling her ex-boyfriend. And so he will award Oyster with her clock. Says a clean rat will tell him things behind his back because she has his best interest at heart. So he's good with Oyster snitching as long as she had his best interest in heart. And when it came to Miss Latin, he's just like, why couldn't you just tell me? Why couldn't you just let me know that this was going on?
I mean, she should have told him.
She should have told him.
If the rest of the house knew. But I still think even if she did tell him, that he would have been happy about it and would have been like, later.
Yeah. So Miss Latin, aka Social, is gone. Georgia, aka Jafandi, is gone. She says, I can only be myself. Rain, who I think is gone way too soon. Way too soon. We lost Rain.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Crazy that Rain goes out in the second episode because to me, I never forget that argument that she has with New York in the van. I don't know about everybody else, but that one lives rent free in my head because it was just like, it's the early stages and somebody was trying to out New York, and it was actually kind of cool to watch it. It was like, it felt like somebody had met their match in a way.
And it was before like anybody knew to be scared of her, it's like, because now people would never really come at New York like that because they know that she will fight back,
Oh yeah. So. We're gonna see a lot of New York's greatest hits throughout this, for sure. Rain says, I will never speak to Flav again. So we lose Stella as well. We also lose Apples and Dimples, who we don't even get a confessional from on the way out. But we said this from jump. Apples, girl, what were you doing here?
Who's Apples again? Hold on.
She's up here in our top row. I believe she did a
her. Dance. She looks like a 90s actress. You know what I mean? Like
right. She looks like she picks apples. Brittany in the chat says, yeah, I forgot how early Rain went out. It seems like she lasted a little longer. I'm telling you, Rain is an icon in this season, and there are so many icons. So Chantel, that's our second elimination. We're down to the final, 14 or so people? Like, we don't have that many left, and I'm excited because this is going to be fun.
It's still pretty good. I mean, it's just a crazy, crazy, crazy show. And someone saying like, "Oh, Flavor Flav deserves love." Yes, I know Flavor Flav deserves
He
love.
does.
Okay, of course he does. He has a show. He deserves love. He found love with Bridget Nielsen. I get it. I'm just saying, in the context of these women coming to the show, I don't know if he was, when they did The Bachelor originally, it was supposed to be this super eligible rich guy like that every single person in the world wanted to be with. I don't think that everybody in the world wants to be with Flavor Flav, but he does have a niche audience for sure. We'll see if some of these women are actually, his ideal matches. We'll see.
We also got some comments in the chat. I want to read them off. We get a comment from Mari Talks Too Much. The one I said cannot skate, and I mean that. She says, the only thing I do with Flavor Flav in a hot tub is show him how to measure pH levels for proper hot tub management or maintenance. So Mari not seeming like she's into it. Yeah, Mari's a scientist, so she's definitely not going to get in that pool or that hot tub without doing the necessary, due diligence to make sure she comes out without, anything extra.
An infection, we'll say. An infection.
Yeah, we'll say that. Also, much love to Flav for Yogaba Goof. So, yes, Chantele, that's it. 2 eliminations in. We've got some traction right now. Who would you say your front runners are? Who are the ones that you're enjoying watching the most?
Enjoy. I mean, obviously, I really like New York. Who was messy this week?
Hottie was messy this week. Hottie and Oyster were the ones running around. Okay,
yeah, Hottie being messy, I like that.
Okay, let me ask you about a few people specifically. Okay, so let's just go down the road. So New York, you're high on New York. Would you be high on New York if you didn't know that she ends up being the icon that she is? Like, if you just saw these 2 episodes, how would you feel about New York?
It's hard. It's very hard to say, because there has been shows that I remember watching when I was young and then and having a certain opinion about them, and then going back and watching them being like, oh my God, like I was being so hypercritical back then. So I think if I was watching it for the first time in the beginning, New York might have frustrated me that she wasn't willing to like be nice to everybody and like wasn't really to get along with the other girls. But now watching it as an adult, looking back at it, like she's great entertainment. So, but if I'm back in the day though, I probably would have been like, why doesn't she just want to get along with Rain? Like, like she just wants, I would probably be on that side of things. Like, why don't you want people to like you?
Yeah. So. Okay. How do we feel about Pumpkin?
I think she's kind of nasty. I don't know. I'm not a big fan with how she kind of fights back. She just like, yes, New York can be abrasive and kind of wants to get into your skin and make your blood boil, but I feel like she's still kinder than I see Pumpkin. Like Pumpkin kind of always goes for the jugular, and I'm not necessarily enjoying it. But New York does need to have a rival, a foe. So if that has to be her, it has to be her. But I'm more Team New York than I'm Team Pumpkin right now.
All right. Next up, we have Goldie.
I love Goldie. She had the great line. It's like
and Flav and Goldie and Flav.
Yeah, she's fun in the hot tub. He likes that she's country. She has her one lines with the chicken. Goldie can stay. I like Goldie.
All right. How do we feel about Hoops?
Hoops is really pretty. I don't really remember much better.
Yeah.
What
Love
happened?
me some Hoops.
Did you do anything this episode?
She was kind of
a baller in the end, right? Like she
she was kind of on Miss Ladden's side when it came to like them kind of jumping Miss Ladden and telling her business. She had Miss Ladden's back.
I'd probably be friends with her.
All right, my girl Hottie.
Hottie.
Hottie is the one who went around telling everybody's business. She says, "Get out of my house, get away from my man." Yeah,
Hottie's
we love
messy.
Hottie.
Yeah, Hottie's messy. Hottie's good. Hottie, I'm just like, she's gonna get in trouble. She's gonna mess with the wrong person. But it'll be for my entertainment.
All right. Red Oyster.
I don't like Red Oyster as much as you do, but she's growing on me a little bit. I didn't necessarily want Miss Ladden to go, so I didn't like the fact that she was kind of, trying to get her out of the game by telling Flavor Flav what's going on. But we'll see if I can like her a little bit more in the coming episodes.
All right, we have Sirius down at the bottom row on our far left. She was the one in the champagne and the hot tub.
I don't remember much more about her though.
Yeah, she didn't have that much to do in this episode. And then finally, of course, we have we have two more. We have Smiley,
Oh,
and that's
Smiley, your girl.
yeah, love me some Smiley.
You said that she's gonna be crying some more. I don't really. Okay, I can be emotional, but when I was her age, I did not cry. No tears came from me, and so too much crying so far from Miss
Yeah,
Smiley. So
and then yeah, and then finally, Sweetie. Sweetie is our last one. She was the one who rapped for Flav in the hot tub, and she like shook her butt. She had Flavor Flav on her ass, I think, on the bikini she was wearing.
I don't remember much more than that about her. So she's all right. She's okay.
All right.
Hopefully she brings some more.
Yeah, good temperature check there. DBP says, get someone to love you as much as Flav loves his clocks. So we will be back.
Oh, wait, speaking of his clocks, though, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm impressed that, he's able to remember everybody's new names. Like, maybe he was doing some mnemonics with their names and their faces, whatever. And then I see that he has Smiley or whatever written on the clocks with their face, with their picture on it. So I was like, he's cheating.
Yeah. So Brittany points out that next week is such a good episode. We are going to probably get one of New York's most famous memes. And so you will have to tune in for that live here next week to find out what that is like. But Chantele, this has been so much fun. Week 2, we did it again. Cannot wait for you to watch episode 3. Right now, how are you feeling about Flavor of Love season 1?
I mean, I keep on wanting to watch more, so that's
Can't
great.
do that. Stay out of the comments. You were barred from the comments, and I saw you in the comments. You snuck in there. Stay out of the comments. We don't want any spoilers for Chantele. You have to experience this the right way, the way the Lord intended it.
I know, YouTube did not even exist.
Right.
I am sorry. I can't help it. I'm just so curious.
Nope.
Okay, but I won't go into the comments, I promise.
Okay.
I know, I love it. I think it's really interesting. Just like speaking about a show, because I would speak up probably a lot differently about it 20 years ago than I do now. And so having such a plethora of reality TV knowledge and experience, it's just interesting coming back to the show that when it was airing, I had almost virtually none. Like I'd seen like 4 shows, So it's kind of cool coming back as like an expert and watching like the beginning of like the reality TV world. So it's been very entertaining, very fun, very educational.
Very much so. This is required reading for any reality TV fan. Chantele, thank you so much for joining me for the second week. Let everybody know where they can find you until we come back for week 3 next week.
Sure. Well, at ChanFriendFriend on Instagram, or I'm going to go live tomorrow with JoJo to talk about this cast of The Traitors season 4, because we know that it's a banger that came out today, and it's been really exciting talking about the cast. And so we want to go through and do a little cast assessment tomorrow. So on Reality Realness with 3 S's on YouTube at 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll be going live to talk about these people.
Okay. And then, of course, you can catch all the Recap Kickback content over here on recapkickback.com, on our YouTube page as well, youtube.com/@recapkickback, to keep up with all we have going through. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of Chantele's real-time reactions to watching The Flavor of Love. Make sure you also check out the Nothing But Netflix podcast hosted by me, the nothingbutpod.com. Check out me and Mari. This week we talked about Straw, the Tyler Perry movie that's taking Netflix by storm. Go check that out. Go listen to the podcast. And then catch me on Rob Has a Podcast, talk about other stuff too. I'm definitely going to stream and talk about the cast, so be on the lookout for that. And tune in every week to see what Chantele and I have to say about this iconic show. But for Chantele and for myself, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. We'll see you all next time. Peace.